I manifested my goals one pin at a time. From my dream travel destinations to my academic achievements, everything that I put on my Pinterest board showed up later in my life. And I've got the receipts to prove it. The coolest one, I think, just to point out, is this one in Greece, because when I had saved that on my Pinterest board, I didn't even know like what beach and what area of Greece that was, and I ended up literally going to the exact same beach. What's the deal with vision boards? Well, vision boards are tools that basically help you visualize any goals or dreams that you have for your life. And when you're making this vision board, you're essentially telling your brain to focus on these things and turn them into your reality. Okay, so I actually have my own little method for this that I'll explain a little bit later in the video, but to introduce you briefly to it, it's called the 90-21-0 method, or I guess you could call it the 90210 method. Essentially, this just helped me take these ideas on my vision board and turn them into something in real life that made sense for my schedule and for me as a person. But first things first, I'm obviously going to go over all the major things that people might put into their vision board and give you some tips on some realistic ways that you could start incorporating the right routines and actions to actually manifest them into your life. Okay, first up, career and finances. This is a big one for a lot of people. You might have pins of your dream job, your dream salary. Maybe you just want to start a business, make a lot of money this year. Obviously, you have to think about your career goal. Obviously, you have to think about your career.
Somebody dropped you on your head.
Obviously, you have to think about your professional goals. So take some time and really think about it. Do you need more education, more skills? Do you need to maybe attend more networking events? What things need to happen for you to get where you want to go? Don't forget to create an actionable budget. And I can't stress this enough, guys. Be so clear about how much money you want to make. As someone who's often indecisive, like I often struggled to think, sure, I want X amount of money, but how am I going to get to a place where that's realistic for me? I was very unclear, and I literally had to learn the hard way. Until you start figuring out where and how you're going to make X amount of money that you want to make, it will not manifest the way you think it will. So let's just say you want to make a specific income, maybe on social media. Research what channels you could monetize on. Research what things other creators are doing. Figure out things that are specific to the thing that you want to do, and then start thinking, well, okay, if I'm going to make money on YouTube, let's say, my goal is that I'm going to make 10K from YouTube, I'll make $500 every month. Like, you have to think that way. So for me personally, I really honed in on my budgeting this year because I know that one of my biggest expenses is probably going to be travel. Like, that's something that I really want for myself this year. So I know that I'm not just going to wake up with $1 million in my bank account magically. Like, I actually have to take the steps to budget away a certain amount every month so that I can later go travel to the places that I want to go this year. Next, we have personal growth and self-care. You have to implement ways to almost treat yourself a little bit more and express some love for yourself. So maybe it's scheduling weekly me time, or it could be disconnecting from social media. So every single day I have an hour completely to myself, and it's probably the most productive hour in my day. I hold myself accountable to do a minimum every single day in which I do 30 minutes of movement at the minimum. If I don't feel like working out that day, I'll go on a 30-minute walk. That's what works for me. Then I do 20 minutes of learning a new skill or reading. So I might pick up my book, listen to my podcast because I'm learning Spanish at the moment. That to me counts. So obviously sometimes I'll do more than 20 minutes, but that's just my bare minimum of every day. And for the remaining 10 minutes of that hour, I just clean something. I'm not sure who it was, but I heard somewhere that if you take 10 minutes to clean every single day, that's like nothing will be messy again or something like that. It was along the lines of like how even 10 minutes a day makes such a difference. So obviously I don't clean rigorously every day, but I'll take 10 minutes each time just to make sure that I at least have that. And honestly, it makes me feel a lot more put together, and I feel like it contributes very well with my me time and my self-care area of my Pinterest board. Maybe your Pinterest has images of travel buddies, friendship goals, maybe a significant other, but how do you take these off the screen and put them in your life? So you have to start by nurturing the relationships that you already have. So I think it's good to be in this kind of like go with the flow energy and just be so happy with what's already there that you're not constantly thinking about what could be there. I think if you're specifically thinking of relationships, you need to put yourself out of your comfort zone. And I'm a firm believer that your new life costs you your old one. Like, for example, I really wanted to be more social this year, and I'm kind of an introvert, so this was kind of something very new to me. In January, I actually went to my first ever women's networking / influencer event. It was so uncomfortable at first, but it's something that had a positive effect in the long run, and now I feel a little bit more comfortable in these social situations. Like, this is all like step by step by step, but I'm slowly taking the action to put myself in an uncomfortable situation and get somewhere where maybe I wasn't last year. year. So on my end, it was very intentional too. I knew that I didn't want to just have friends to have friends. I wanted to be friends with like-minded women. So I went out of my way to find an event where I could bond with women with similar interests. So this was like a Pilates mindfulness retreat. This is not the year that you're lowering your standards. Remember that not every person is for you. So if things don't line up with someone, it's okay. It just means that someone better is coming along. Keep that mindset and you'll be okay. Maybe this is the year that you want to lose weight. Maybe you want to get stronger, build muscle. You want to change your physique. The key here is making it a habit. So I know that nobody really wakes up necessarily and wants to work out or wants to eat healthy. But the difference is that the people who do those things have a lot of discipline, and that means doing it even when they don't want to. You have to think of it and be like, does this align with the health and wellness goals that I have for myself this year? If not, then it's not part of your lifestyle. This is something that you're choosing for yourself because you're trying to better yourself. And I think the shift of seeing working out and eating healthy as something that's innately not fun and seeing it more as something that, well, this is my lifestyle because I love myself, because I love my body, because I want to feel my absolute best. I'm not going to say that it's easy because again, it's mostly discipline, but that definitely helped me. I think the best way to go about this is just choosing one healthy habit a week. Start one thing a week. Maybe this week you're going to drink more water. Maybe next week you're not going to have any sugar. Maybe the week after that you're not going to have any alcohol. Just one thing per week. And I think that's a really good way to teach yourself discipline in almost micro increments where it isn't as tough or all or nothing in the beginning, right? Okay, so now that that's out of the way, let's talk method. So what I was introducing earlier, my 90210 method, I plan out specifically quarter by quarter, Q1, Q2, what's going to happen in those 3 months and how. So for example, like I said, my networking event, that was in my Q1 goal. My starting of a YouTube channel, that was also in my Q1 goal. So how you're going to do this with my 90210 method is that you're first going to give yourself 90 days. So what is that? 3 months? Yeah, I think that's a quarter. So in those 90 days, you are going to commit to one goal. Let's say you want to be vegetarian this year. For those 90 days, you are going to be a vegetarian, no exceptions. And then if you don't want to be vegetarian anymore, by the end of that quarter, you're going to rethink your goals and you're going to set a new goal the next quarter. So maybe after that, you'll be vegan. You're going to wait and then you're going to reassess only when the 90 days are over. And that way, if you really, really don't like it, great, you move on. You showed yourself that you can have discipline. But if it is something that you enjoyed, then 90 days is an amazing amount of time to make serious progress. Maybe it's 90 days of going to the gym. I can assure you, you're going to look and feel so different by the end of those 90 days, and you're going to thank yourself, and you're probably going to keep going past day 90. Next is 21. So 21 is 21 days of the quarter. Only 21 days. So not even like a third. You're just going to give up something that's not good for you. So if you're a smoker, you're going to give up smoking. If you, eat a lot of junk food, you're going to give up junk food, and you still have this sort of habit stacking going on where you're spending the 90 days doing something productive. But in that time, just take 3 weeks to drop something that doesn't serve you anymore. This is actually because research shows it takes 21 days to break a habit. So I think this is the perfect amount of time to sort of let something go. And then we get to the 0. So this part is more so just remembering that every day is a reset. Day 0 is like point 0, reset point, whatever you want to call it. So let's say that you're doing the 21 day thing, right? You're a smoker and you quit smoking, and let's say by day 5 you smoke again. And then the whole point is that you don't beat yourself up after for making mistakes or not completing things the way that you wished you did. And remember that it's okay and that you can start over. Anyways, guys, that's my 90210 method. And so what you can do is you can either create a vision board for the whole year. What I actually suggest is making one for the whole year and then breaking it up in each quarter. So that way it's not as overwhelming. Sorry guys. So that was my ring light dying. And while you're doing this, don't forget to track your progress, whether that's weekly check-ins or journaling, how you feel. All these things can be really good for staying on top of it and making sure that you are committed to your goals and to yourself and your future life and the future you who already has all of those things that you want. So really that's it, guys. That's all I did. That's exactly my method. I'm not gatekeeping. I literally threw it out there for you. Whether you want to use it or not, completely up to you. But I'm telling you this method works. The reason I say this is the method that nobody talks about is because it's literally my method. So if this is the year that you're going to become just like your Pinterest board, give it a try. You won't regret it. Anyways, guys, that was it for this video. Let me know if you want more content like this. I personally really enjoy putting out a positive message. We're all just trying to figure it out, but I really enjoy figuring it out together with you guys. I will see you guys soon, and thank you so much for watching this video. I love you.